everybody. Welcome to Candid Conversations, Season 6, Episode 1. I am so glad that you are here. And I'm going to say at the top of the show, because sometimes I forget to say it, remember to comment so we know that you're here. We have an exciting show lined up for you tonight. We have a boss chick, a brand new boss chick. Her name is Dr. Malaika Brown, and she has a very exciting story to share with us. And she is a true boss chick. She is a I'm trying to think of where to start. She volunteers. She's a business owner. She is a psychologist, actively working. I was just impressed when I saw her website and just learned about all the things that she's involved in. I really enjoy speaking to her and getting to know her, and I know that you will too. But before I bring on our boss chick, I just wanted to say that I've missed you all. I hope that you had a wonderful summer. So much has happened since season 5. I actually took a summer break, and it wasn't that much of a break. My daughter turned 16. We had a sweet 16 party, and it was a royal ball. So there was a lot going on there. And I just thought about it now. I did not bring any pictures to show you, but we had a ball. I went to Martha's Vineyard for the very first time, and I can say I was really able to relax. I did take a lot of vacation, but that one I really truly was able to relax. Everything was moving slow. So I was able to just really regroup and get my thoughts together, let my body recruit from just living a busy life. And what else has happened since season 5? So much. Oh my goodness. So the Queen of England celebrated her 70th year on the throne, and then unfortunately she passed not that long after that. What else has happened? So much. It's just so much going on, and I know that we have not that much time. We have less than an hour to talk about so many things. We have to get to your relationship questions. Vanessa was supposed to be here to give the spotlight on education, but unfortunately she had a family emergency and she won't be able to be with us this time, but she is going to join us later on in the season. Trying to think of what else I had to talk about. Well, I'm sure it will come up. So sit tight, and I want you to just get your pen and paper ready, because I know that Dr. Malaika Brown is going to just have so much to share with you, so much important things. Oh, and also I did want to preface that she is going to be talking about the Superwoman Syndrome that I know a lot of you boss chicks out there really want to tune in for this. So sit tight, and up next is Dr. Brown. Hi there. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Welcome to Candid Conversations.
Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. It looks like you have some beautiful weather there behind you.
California, it was 100 degrees today.
Are you serious? Oh,
Yes.
wow. Okay. Nice. I
Hmm.
think we had a little more than half that. So it wasn't
Uh,
50. I think it might have been 57, close to 60. It wasn't terrible, but we are definitely experiencing fall here in Chicago.
yeah, it's not happening here at all.
Okay, well, we won't stay on the weather. I'm just so excited to have you here. I wanted to tell you welcome again. And I was so happy that you were referred to me, because when I we spoke, and I
Hmm.
really enjoyed our conversation. And I think we have a lot in common. So I'm sure we'll have many more conversations in the future. But
Absolutely.
what I wanted to have you do is just kind of give yourself to the audience a little bit, tell them who you are and what you do, and we will go from there.
I am Dr. Malaika Brown. I am a professor of psychology as well as a clinical psychologist. I am sitting outside at one of the schools that I actually teach at. I just got through teaching a lecture for my introduction to psychology students. I also have a private practice where I see clients, and I have a nonprofit organization that is dedicated to education when it comes to mental health, as well as connecting people with resources that are low cost or free, because I feel like that's a big challenge in the African American community is getting access to resources. Even if you have insurance, the coverage for mental health is often inadequate. I also am a proud member of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. It is our centennial year, and so I do a lot of my community work kind of threads into that as well, working through our local chapter and the different committees that I sit on, and I'm able to use my personal strengths even in that capacity. So a lot of my things also goes together. And I'm a wife and I'm a mom, so can't get rid of those roles. Those are also there.
Yes.
Balancing being a mother of three young adult daughters,
Wow.
23, 22, and 21. I had to think about their ages.
Oh,
And
wow.
then also being a wife to my amazing husband of 19 years.
Nice. Congratulations on all of
Thank
that.
you.
So, with such an extensive and impressive resume, the question is, where do I start? So, let's try to go back to the beginning. What made you choose to go into psychology?
So for me, I'm a PK. So I grew up in church, my father being my pastor. And I used to work with the young people, and they would come to me with different issues that they were dealing with. And I could tell a lot of these issues were not issues that dealt with spiritual matters, they dealt with psychological things,
Okay.
social things. And I wanted to be better equipped to assist them. So at the time, I wanted to be a lawyer and shifted completely my professional direction and decided to go into psychology. And it's probably the best decision that I ever made. And I often credit those young people as being the catalyst for where I am right now.
Yes, yes. Okay. And so I did hear you say that you are a professor. What university are you a professor at?
So I teach at two local community colleges in Southern California, Pasadena City College and Citrus College. I did used to teach at the university level with grad students and research, but just balancing out my schedule, I've had to make some adjustments, kind of talking about the Superwoman Syndrome. I had
Yeah.
to make some adjustments to my schedule. So now I'm only teaching at the two schools. But prior to
Okay.
that, I taught at Southern New Hampshire University as well as um, a local college, private university here, Pacific Coast College.
Okay. And so, with all of that, my next question was going to be, how do you balance all of that? And I know that's going to segue into that Superwoman syndrome that I'm going to give you the platform to speak about. But yes,
Mhm.
how do you balance all of that? Because it seems like you do so much, and that there's not enough hours in the day to be able to get any of that done.
Sleep is lacking some days. And
Mhm.
then when that happens, I realize I need to reevaluate my schedule. And sometimes it's a day by day reevaluation, sometimes it's a week by week, looking at what's on my calendar, what's reasonable, and knowing what I can give to what areas that I have responsibilities to. So it may be this particular week, more of my focus is on my therapy clients because they need me to put a little bit more of myself into that particular part of me. Other
Mhm.
weeks, it may be more of a heavier focus on my students. And other weeks, it may be a heavier focus on sorority business. But I have to balance the two because there's no way that you can give 100% of yourself to every area all the time. Like it's just not possible for us to do that.
Got it. Do you find that you have more control over your schedule? Like, are you able to shift things, or do you adjust based on what's going on already?
I do have flexibility. One of the reasons why I tried to scale down the amount of schools I taught at Probably another reason why I haven't gone full time is because I can piecemeal my schedule together each day, or what days I'm teaching and what days I'm on campus, which gives me flexibility to do the other capacities that I have to occupy in my life as well. And I'm a person that lives by my calendar. So like I have to have that as my guideline for what I'm doing. And if it's not there, kind of doesn't exist for me. Like I need it on there. Spur of the moment is not always the best for me because of the different hats that I wear.
Okay.
So I do pretty good with balancing out what I have, because I'll know for weeks at a time what's coming up. Do
Okay.
emergencies happen? Absolutely. And so I may say, oh, I need to reschedule a client for a different day because this came up, or I'm not feeling well, or I have an emergency that I have to take care of. And so I need to cancel class for that particular day. So I do have a lot of say so over, what my calendar looks like. And I've worked to get to this place. Like it took time to get to
Right.
this particular place.
Okay. And I'm sure you appreciate your journey getting you to that level of freedom.
Yes. Yes.
So, we did discuss about the Superwoman Syndrome, and so I wanted you to talk about that. First of all, what is that, and
Mhm.
how are we affected by that?
So this was a term that was coined in 1984. And it basically occurs when a woman is neglecting herself because she's seeking to do it all, but
Mhm.
trying to do it all to perfection. And that's stretching yourself too thin. You will find that the idea of fulfilling every role that you have perfectly over a lifetime is just not a realistic thing. Do we strive to be the best? Absolutely.
Yes.
But expecting perfection in every area is not something that can be attained, because there are going to be areas that will have to be less than in order for us to balance what's important in that current moment, or
Mhm.
what you consider a priority. One of the things that you will find is that this particular syndrome comes with physical ramifications. So it's not
Mhm.
just a mental thing that you're dealing with, you're also dealing with physical impact to your body as well. Some of your
Okay.
symptoms are irritability, unable to sleep or sleeping too much. You'll also
Mhm.
deal with memory issues. You'll deal with muscle tension, anxiety, sweating when you're not even active, which is probably something that most women don't want to do.
Right.
Inability to concentrate, aches and pains, right? That you can't attribute to just a normal aging process. Like these are all physical symptoms that you deal with. And the thing that I want women in general to understand, even those who are not boss chicks, that are not entrepreneurs, that don't consider themselves that,
Mhm.
it affects homemakers. So a
Mhm.
woman that doesn't go outside the home, it affects a homemaker. It
Okay.
affects a person that just volunteers. It affects a person that is an athlete. It affects a person that is an entrepreneur. Like this syndrome is equal opportunity. The
Okay.
key is trying to do everything perfectly and not giving enough self-care to yourself.
Okay. And so how do we rectify that? How can we fix it, if because you listed a lot of symptoms that that I've
Mhm.
experienced. And so what can we do about that to,
I always say take off your cape, right? It's okay to take off your cape. And one of the ways you do that is to ask for help. It's
okay.
okay to know your boundaries. We're usually better with boundaries with others, but not with ourselves, and that's where it starts. You got to
Okay.
set a boundary with yourself. You have to be able to say, this is beyond my limitations. I cannot do this. I don't have the energy level to do this. I only can do so much. And I say this as a person that still struggles with this, because I want to give my best and excellence to everything I do that I've committed to. But there are days when I realize that report might have to be late. It's not going to shift anything dramatically. So the report may have to be late. I may not be able to go out and be at every event that the sorority is hosting. I may not be able to take every client that I want to help, which I've had to tell people no recently that have been referred to me to be their therapist, that I just cannot do it because I already have too many to juggle with my other life responsibilities. Ask for help when you need it, and have the boundaries in place and adhere to those boundaries. I think
Okay.
another thing is taking time out for yourself. I feel
Yes.
like that's a big one. Take time out for yourself. We don't do well with daily time, like daily me time.
Right.
I often say this to my therapy to my therapy clients that have daily me time. If you can bookend it, start the day with me time, end it with me time.
Yeah.
It could just be meditation,
Okay.
yoga. For me, it's exercise. I go to the gym. So
Okay.
going to the gym is my 1 to 2 hour time block. That's my me time where I'm away from things. I don't take
Mhm.
calls. I read a book while I'm there, or I listen to podcasts or audiobooks or whatever it may be. That's my me time. The other thing sounds small.
Mm-hmm.
Use no. Learn how to say no.
And I was going to ask you about that
No.
because I've heard that a lot, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a lot in my opinion, and it might be easier for other people than it is for me. And I do find time to say no, but
Mm-hmm.
then I just, it's not that I'm afraid to say no. It's just that I sometimes, like you said, the Superwoman Syndrome. I feel like I can, you know what I mean? And so it's not until after I've already done something or entered into a task that I may realize that I should have said no.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, and when you get used to it, I've seen a lot of women where they've adopted that, and now they're saying no to everything. And it seems like they are so empowered. But
Yes.
yeah, trying to get to regularly saying no can take some effort for someone who is used to being able to handle multiple tasks.
It's a muscle that you have to exercise in order to strengthen the ability to use it. It gets stronger. So your ability
Okay.
to say no gets stronger. It does get empowering once you realize that saying no is not earth shifting. Like the world is not going to end because you say no to this particular thing. And that leads into also setting achievable goals.
Mm,
Some of the goals we set for ourselves are actually beyond the actual human capacity we have, not meaning our intellect. Could we do it if we had unlimited amount of time? Absolutely. But it's not achievable with all that we have on our plate. So we may have the skill set to do it, but we don't have the time to do it. And so all of these pieces play a part when you set the goals. Make sure that your goals are attainable and achievable. And what you're giving yourself is a gift of time.
okay.
By taking this cape off, you're giving yourself back the gift of time, priceless. You cannot get that back. And you will value it. I feel like as we age, we value our time more and more for sure.
Time
It used
and
to
sleep.
be we wanted to time and sleep. Like I was talking about naps yesterday. My sister, my cousin-in-law, she was laughing at me. I'm like, listen, naps are life. Like literally, a good nap can be the change in a particular day. If you just need that boost of energy, it's
Yes.
like you take for granted sleeping until you get to this level of your life where you're juggling so many parts of who you are,
Right.
and realize that quality sleep is important.
Right. Okay, so I've heard you say self-care and making
Mm-hmm.
sure you have me time, um,
Mm-hmm.
being able to say no, not taking on
Mm-hmm.
more than you can basically handle. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I wonder, are there any more nuggets you would like to leave? I think those are so important and very powerful. But if there's anything else, because I don't want to, I don't want to cut you off, and I don't want to take away anything that you feel like you need to leave the young ladies.
I leave you one more. Let go of perfectionism. And like the example, your house does not have to be perfectly clean 24 hours of the day. It's
Mm,
okay if you can't get to cleaning your house until Saturday. It's okay if things are not in the exact place because you're doing your day-to-day weekly routine and you spend Saturday getting things back together. It's not, the world's not going to end. It's going to be okay. It does not reflect on who you are, your character, any of that. You are who you are. You're phenomenal just because you exist. And
mhm.
those external things that we sometimes get validated by, I feel like push us to do more than we have the capacity to do. So you've got to let go of the perfectionism.
Got it. Okay, agreed. So now before we move on to the next segment, because you have so many things that are going on in your life, and I know that you are a social justice advocate as well as a philanthropist. So do you want to talk about any of that just to highlight some of the magnificent things you're doing?
I'm doing in relationship to social justice advocacy is around the election and some of the policy changes that we need in order to shift things, specifically for African Americans, because as a group, we've been disenfranchised for a long time,
True.
but also for other minority groups that are also impacted. As a woman, we know probably the biggest impacting or biggest headline that has happened recently has definitely been the Roe v. Wade decision. And so part of it is understanding that voting is how we voice who we want to represent us and what issues matter. So that's been the place that I've been working the most right now. Also working with a team on a coalition between the church and Christian-based religions and social justice, and realizing that those things need to work together as they have historically in the past. So that's been my biggest focus. And just making sure that we push to get accountability for those who have committed crimes, especially those who are police officers who have committed crimes against our people, and making sure that they receive the justice that they deserve, because again, their lives matter.
Yeah, and that's a big deal and a lot of work. So my hat's off to you. Just we didn't even really put a dent in all the things that you are doing. So I thank you for the work that you're doing, and commend you for just having the wherewithal and the commitment to keep going. I think that you're setting an excellent example for young women, or not so young,
Right.
women who are just aspiring to get things done, but also wanting to maintain their sanity and their health. So I think this is a really good topic, and I'm sure that more people want to hear more about it. So if you could just tell the audience where they can find you, or how they can get in touch with you, or just find, some of the things that you're doing so that they can jump on board, because you support so many great things. If you could do that. Even a website.
Probably the best way for me to be found would be on social media. So they can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And my handle is Dr. Malaika Speaks. So it's my doctor, my first name, and then Speaks on all three platforms. My website is malaikambrown.com. That's the best way to get in contact with me. And then I can answer questions that they have, depending on which area they're coming to me about.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So before I go, I always ask my boss chick, and I think it literally has been obvious just based on all the things that you've said, but in your mind and in your own words, what makes you a boss chick?
What makes me a boss chick is the spirit of excellence that I bring to everything that I do. So again, it's not about the perfection, it's about the excellence. And so anything that I commit to or touch, I want to see it done to the best of the ability that it can be done. And that means pushing for excellence and representing excellence, because I feel like we should never half-heart do anything in our lives.
I love it. Thank you for that. And thank
You're
you
welcome.
for sharing your wisdom and sharing yourself. So I would like to extend an invitation to you to stay and have girl talk with us. So we go over relationship questions and scenarios, and we answer those candidly and honestly as we can. Is that okay with you?
All right. I can do it.
Okay. So typically right now we would segue into the spotlight, but as I mentioned before, we don't have the spotlight on education this evening. And so our prayers are going out to Miss Vanessa, and just praying that, lifting her family up in prayer. And then right now we're getting ready for girl talk. So don't move. And if you haven't already, go grab your glass of wine, because we are about to get into the relationship segment of the show. First and foremost, you need to have your wine. Oh yes, it's time for girl talk with Dawn B, LaTanya, and yours truly. You're laid back, down to down-to-earth life coach. All right, ladies, it's time to decide. Would you like a question, a scenario, or a personal truth? Think about it, but whatever you choose, just don't forget the wine. All right, now, it's time to get this conversation started. Hey, guys. Oh, look at you guys, looking just lovely as ever. I've missed you.
Word. Same. Hey.
That's so funny.
You're on mute.
Who's
LaTanya.
on mute? Oh, LaTanya.
That will be me.
Oh, I thought I heard you. That's funny. All right, ladies. So how was your summer?
Not long enough.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's all
Yeah,
the time.
summer should have been longer. I can't believe that it's do we have fall?
You know what? The first day of fall, it got cold. So I guess,
That's every year. Because the
Chicago.
first day of fall is my birthday.
Your birthday is the second day of fall.
Usually 99% of the time it's on September 23rd. This year was on September 22nd.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
My summer was amazing. I was absolutely irresponsible.
Okay.
That's because my sons were away for the summer.
That sounds like a good summer.
Okay. Well, I know, right? It sounds like a lot of fun. Well, before we get into it, let me introduce everybody on the panel. I know we have our intro, but I want to welcome Dr. Malaika Brown to our show, to Girl Talk. Welcome, Dr. Brown.
Thank you.
Hello, Dr. Brown.
How are you?
Uh-oh, you're looking a little stiff. I don't know if it's frozen. All right. And hey, Dawn B, welcome back from your irresponsible summer.
Responsibly irresponsible. Though. Thank you.
All right. And LaTanya, welcome back. We haven't heard about your summer yet, but I'm sure we will.
It wasn't
just wasn't long.
All I remember is summer break and getting back to taking the kids back to school. So that's I was like, it's over already. Like, what happened?
Yes. And look, I haven't poured my wine, but I know exactly how you feel. I'm sorry, I have to put something in this glass. I'm really tired, so I just want to preface that I've had a long day. So I'm going to do my best to pay attention to these questions and answer as candidly as I can. But for the audience, for those of you out there who have never seen the show before or have been gone for a while, I'm going to go over the rules. So this is a relationship talk. It's Girl Talk, where we discuss relationship questions and scenarios. So every lady on the panel has an opportunity to choose a question, a scenario, or a personal truth. At the time that it's that lady's choice, they get uninterrupted time to respond. And then once they are done, we will chime in with our responses. All right. So I typically start with the person who is next to me on the screen. So Dr. Brown, you're up first.
No. Okay.
Would you like a question, a scenario, or a personal truth?
Let's go with the question.
A question. All right. Here we go. Would you carry the full load financially if your husband was out of work?
Absolutely. I have actually done that. And the reason why I say that is because our marriage looks different. And being out of work is subjective to why, right? So he was in school full time. I had finished school. So I was beginning of my career, but I was establishing my career path and had the ability to financially do that so that he could work on something that was important to him. So now you just sitting around, laying around, absolutely not. But if you're not working and you're pursuing other things to better yourself, I would not have a problem with that. Now, if you just habitually are unemployed, that's a hard no for me. But I would if there was a reason to me that made sense for them being out of work.
Okay, I totally understand that. What'd you say, Dawn?
I'm just joking. I'm with
I don't
you.
even know what you said.
I was like, hell no, I'm not supporting you.
No matter what.
No, I would definitely support my husband, just not my ex-husband. No, yeah, I would definitely.
Right. Okay. So I mean, well, I think like Dr. Brown said, I think it depends on the situation. But I feel like if you're married, the first response should be yes, unless there's a real reason not to. So whatever reason that they're not employed at the moment, if it's a trifling reason, then yeah, I would have a problem with that. But if we're married, we're in this together. So sometimes, especially with the pandemic happening and then recessions, I mean, anything can happen. So, I mean, what else can you do? I mean, you guys have to stay living, stay striving. Gotta eat, gotta sleep somewhere. So why not? LaTanya?
Yeah, absolutely. Real talk, when you are in a marriage, is for better or for worse. So even if it's the worst part is like unless he just stopped to play video games or something like that. But outside of that, I would definitely support my husband if he was out of work for whatever reason. And
Right.
we had some comments. I saw some comments. My mom is actually out here. She said we look gorgeous. Thanks, Mom.
Let me see. Oh, okay. Thank you. Hi,
And then
I'm on the wrong place. It's mad comment.
and then she also says she agrees with the doctor. So
yeah.
I agree. I agree as well.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, we're going to move on to the next thing. I think we're all in agreement with that one.
Mhm.
LaTanya, it's on you. Question,
Give
scenario.
me give me a scenario.
All right. It says, hold on, let me move that comment. Sorry about that. Okay, it says, so the guy says, let's meet up and have a drink around 8. She agrees. Then did I start on the first one? That looks like it didn't start in the beginning. I guess it is. Okay. She agrees. During the meetup, she asks for a menu and orders food. The server brings the check and lays it in front of the guy. He says, I would like a check for the drinks separate from the food she ordered. She says, I wasn't expecting to pay since you asked me out. He reiterates, I said drinks and I will not pay for food.
Mhm.
Who is right? Who's wrong? What would you do? I'm sorry, I read that horribly. Did you get
Look
that?
Go. First thing that came to your mind. Go.
So first of all, I think he is absolutely right. He has the right to not want to pay for her food, right? So he's right. What's the second part?
Do you agree?
What's
And
the,
what would you do?
hell no, I don't agree. I do not agree at all. I think that's so cheap of him. And what would I do? I would take the check, I would pay for my own stuff, and I would just leave. Just period. And that's just who I am. Like, I don't need you to pay for my drink or my food. Like, first of all, you want me to drink, but you don't want me to eat. That goes hand in hand. Like, you gotta soak up the liquor
Right.
with food. So you just want me like drunk.
Right.
No, I'm not tipsy.
And I'm
You want me
still not
drunk.
going.
Laid out.
Exactly. And I wouldn't even tell him not to lose my number or anything. I would just leave. I would pay for my stuff. I would just leave. And if I'm in a certain mood, I probably know what I mean. Like, I pay for everything and just leave. I won't even tell him don't call me no more. I will never answer my phone. in life ever again. Because that's like, you are right. I'm not saying he's wrong. You didn't ask, you don't have to pay for my food, but guess what? Don't never, ever
You never
come
call
around
me.
here calling me no more. Like at all, period. No.
Well, we've talked about that in the past, where the red flags or the signs that somebody shows in that first date or first meeting is an indication of what could happen later. And that's the first date. So that's the first impression. That's when you're trying to impress somebody, and that's how you do. So think about when they're comfortable, and later on how that's going to look. I don't see that being a positive.
No. So something like that is not a red flag. That's fire, like an inferno. That's a no. Period. I would know.
You know what? I asked you for drinks, not drinks and food. When she started to order food, he should have been clear. And since he wasn't clear, she ordered the food. What I would have done was swiped everything off the bar and be like, yo, pay for that there, son. No.
Not dramatic at all.
I'm mad. Like,
that just seems petty.
I don't know. Current Dawn just would have like dined and dashed. I'd have been like, oh, you know what? I got it. Let me go to the party. And then
wait, what Dawn would have done that? What Dawn?
Current Dawn. Dine and dash.
Oh, okay, current Dawn.
I'd have been like, okay, oh, you know what? Let me go to the bathroom real quick. I got to transfer some funds. And then
what did Gail say? But see, that it should have come up in a conversation before the date.
Or right there, like, yo, sis, I asked you for drinks. I'm not. It would have been
right,
so.
When she was ordering food, he should have been like, you know, they paying for this shit, right?
I just asked you for drinks.
No, I'm not paying for this, right?
I just would have been out.
Dr. Brown, did you want to chime in?
Oh, Dawn said what I was gonna say. Like, you need to make yourself clear, because first of all, I don't need you to pay for anything. So I agree with LaTanya on that. Mm-hmm. But secondly, make it clear what you want. And if you have not established that, then yeah, I'm gonna pay for all of my stuff. I might even be like, nah, I'm not paying for his food. He gonna pay for his own stuff. I'm gonna pay for my stuff and I'm out. And it's not a red flag. It's just a hell no, never again. Like grand opening, grand closing. Like that's what that is in that relationship.
I like that.
Yeah, definitely. I would not tell him, don't call me no more. Like, I am so good at not ever, and I won't even block him. Like, I will just never.
Why wouldn't you block him?
Oh, I wouldn't block him. That's why I say I would not block him.
No, I'm saying why not?
Why? That's an extra step I have to take when I could just ignore him.
What if he was just playing? Like, I would have been like, wait, are you kidding? Like, are you dead ass?
I can see myself asking that. Like, wait, you joking, right? I can see myself. But either way, yeah, that's not really that funny. Okay. So I think we've answered that. Dawn, it's on you.
So what's the scenario?
Oh, you want another scenario?
Oh wait, did we just do scenario?
We did, scenario? But I mean, I have another one if you like it.
I want to do a personal preference. What is it?
Personal truth.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me make sure we didn't do this one already. I forgot about those. Yeah, we did that one. Did we do this one?
Oh my God, where's that?
Do you curse or swear in front of your parents, grown people?
We did that.
We did that one.
But we'll start. We can do it again.
What did your answer change?
No.
Oh.
I mean, we did it last season, but
okay, no, we can move on. All right.
Well, no, I don't cuss in front of my damn parents. The fuck? I'm just playing. Which means they not down here.
Lord Jesus. Okay. How often do you use your intuition to guide your decision making, Dawn?
Oh, often. all the time. All of the time. In fact, I just started doing sound baths, sound meditation to re-energize me, to open up my chakras, to get back into my intuition. Because over the last couple of years, fucking 2020, and Jesus, 2021, I kind of lost some of my powers. I feel, I know I did, and I mean, I didn't lose the powers; they were just blocked. So I rely on my intuition a lot, all the time. And so Mecca Elevated helps me do my sound baths. It is a shameless plug, but it's a beautiful place. It is on 13th and Wabash in Chicago.
Okay.
And it's working.
Got it.
Did it help you make the decisions that you made this summer?
Hell no, I just started it. Oh, wait.
That's a good question, LaTanya.
I had to think. Sorry, LaTanya. Yeah, that's why I went back to her like, you know what? I need my chakras. I need to open my third eye. No. That's why I said I was responsibly irresponsible this summer. Because I still got a little bit of my power. I always rely on intuition. I'm like, whoo, I'm not going to be able to do that. But I can do you.
Hey,
it's Candid Conversations.
It is. It definitely is. And you see to it that we are candid. I would say with that, I am such a literal and logical thinker that my tuition doesn't necessarily lead. My intuition. Yeah, it doesn't lead, but because I can also be emotional, so my intellect checks my emotions. I feel like I feel comfortable when I've thought about it. I don't feel like my best self when I just respond on how something feels.
Intuition is not a feeling.
Yeah, it's a check. It's something on the inside though that says this is what that is.
It's also intellect. You got to be a special person to have your intuition fired up and you rely on it. It's not like, oh, I don't feel like doing it because I just don't want to do it. It's something that your gut is telling you, your brain, your power, your energy is telling you to do. That's what intuition is. Like, I don't feel comfortable with it. I don't know why. Or I feel like we should go this way because my power is telling me to go that way. Mm-hmm. It's not a feeling.
So the way that you're describing it, for me, then, okay, so then we're not talking about emotions. Then for me, that sounds like the Holy Spirit. So that's different. That's okay. So I was looking at it differently. And that is definitely my go-to.
It's instinctive.
Yeah. Well, but I still feel like I need to have a conversation with God before I move. I'm just that literal logical person that it has to make sense to me. And my gut or my intuition or my spirit really has to have a strong tugging on me for me to not think about it.
I'll add this though, from a psychological standpoint, your intuition is based on life experiences that you've had. And a lot of our life experiences are compacted into our unconscious level, which requires some kind of triggering for that stuff to come out of there. So sometimes when you're having those feelings, it's because there's something that you've experienced that you can't actively figure out what it is, but there's something that you've gone through in your life that triggered something in you. And it may take you a minute to figure out what it is. You may need to process through it and look at it and be like, okay, what is it about this that's not settling for me? And then you may eventually be able to pinpoint it back to a lived experience that you have. So it's definitely not just emotional. It's very much experiences that you've had. There's that psychological layer that goes with it too.
Got it. Thank you for that explanation. Cool deal. LaTanya?
So yeah, I definitely rely on my intuition before I make decisions. And so much so to the point where it's almost a little irritating because sometimes it makes me stagnant, which I don't like that part. But there have been times where I'm like, something is, like we shouldn't take this route. I'm not feeling it.
Something's not right.
And yeah, something is not right. And I don't take that route. And it's like a little bit later, or it will be something where I'm like, should I leave right now? Or I'm gonna just wait a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I waited a little bit and I come back and I see an accident that just happened or something. I'm like, see,
Yeah.
myself told me don't do that. So I rely on my intuition a lot. And yeah, just like with Don, it's like more, I'm just really getting more into myself.
Okay.
And like with a lot of, meditating and different things like that. So yeah.
Very good. Look at you guys centering yourselves. Love
Getting
it.
that core together.
Yes. All right. So that was you, Don, right? So it's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to take a question. I have a couple of friends who are braggy, yet seek attention at every turn. It's becoming weird at this point. What is the best way to deal with them? Huh. I mean, that sounds totally like a personal choice. If they're seeking attention and it's bothering you, then you can back up and not give them attention. Um, I don't really have any friends that I think are braggy, so I haven't really dealt with anything like that. I think that I have friends that are the bomb and confident and
It
you
should
know.
be braggy.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean? So maybe I don't look at it as braggy, but nobody's
Yeah.
really saying like I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm doing this. They just kind of are doing it. You know what I mean? So if they're talking about it all the time and Dr. Brown can say whether or not I'm correct in this, to me that screams low self-esteem. If you're like kind of always saying I'm doing this and I'm doing that and
Insecure also.
I need attention, and you know what I mean? I mean, I'm sure they're not saying I need attention, but their behavior is saying I need
They need
attention.
validation. They
Right.
need validation because they don't have it naturally internally. So the things they do or the things they have is how they get validated, no matter how accomplished they are.
Right.
Yeah.
And so wait, let me look at the question again to make sure I answer it. What is the best way to deal with them? Okay. So yeah, I think that that's a personal choice and the best way to deal with them. I don't think that you're going to make them not be braggy, if that's a word. Um, I just think that you have to decide either it's going to bother you or it's not going to bother you. And if it's bothering you, then just reduce the time that you spend with them, or maybe just even make sure you compliment them if it's a compliment type of thing. I don't know what they're bragging about. So if they're bragging about like the shoes that they bought or the purse that they bought or the car, I really don't know. But just compliment them. I don't think that would hurt. I don't mind complimenting my friends. So
Or make sure you not hating and think somebody braggy. Get you some business.
maybe.
So,
Okay. You might be right, Dawn.
And do the same thing. Because people that are not rocking how you rock, and they start to feel like you braggy, oh, you need to humble yourself. No.
You need to level up, is what you need.
Level
Exactly.
Win. You on it, man. I'm on a new level. So, and therefore, if I feel like you think I feel like I'm braggy, then you know what? You go ahead and find you some unbraggy damn friends. Because truth be told, if they are my friend, like my friends, because I honor friendship, love, happiness.
Yes.
I'm gonna say, bitch, why are you bragging so much? But see, that's not what my girlfriends do.
Right.
They boss chicks, and I'd be like, damn.
They just doing it.
That's it, and it's not braggy to me. And if it becomes work, and some people do absolutely need attention, they might be like a Sagittarius or something. And I'm just
oh, you just made a lot of enemies, Dawn.
I did. My baby is a Sagittarius, but I just threw a sign out there, and it couldn't be Libra because it's Libra season.
I know.
But I'm just saying that alone, that braggy sometimes that's a red flag. It could go both ways. Just get some business and both of y'all be braggy.
Yeah, I would have to agree, and that's exactly what I was gonna say. You're saying braggy. When a person says braggy, it's like if I have a friend, right? And if I have a friend and I want to tell someone about my accomplishments, and I have several accomplishments, if I tell you about all the great things that are happening in my life and I'm talking to you about it as a friend, does that mean that I'm bragging to you, or am I telling my friend about my accomplishments? And so what I used to always use this statement is just like basically if you hang around 10 millionaires, you'll be the 11th. Or if you hang around 10 broke people, you'll be the 11th. You have to level up, like everyone else said. It's just like basically you just need to level up. My friends definitely keep me on my toes because they talk about all of their accomplishments, and I want to do better, not because I feel like I need to keep up with them. It's like, oh, you did that. Oh, I know I can do better. Or I know I can, not better than them, but I know I can do this because you're letting me know that it can be done. So I don't, it's just the braggy thing. It
I
I
kind of
don't
agree
agree.
with John. It probably is some hateration going on.
It could go both ways. It's Libra season.
The scales. But it also could be the iron sharpens iron. You want to hang around with people that are accomplishing things because that will push you to be the best you, not in competition with them, but to be the best version of you. If you're around people that are not doing anything, the complacency is catching too, just like leveling up is catching. If you're around people that are about their business, it's going to inspire you to be about your business. But you're about people that's laying around doing nothing, that also catches on as well. So I think it's, what do you want to be? Do you want to be iron or do you want to be aluminum foil? It's like you got to pick.
I like
I
that.
want to be iron. So
Right.
Exactly.
I got iron. I have iron friends. So that's just me. I keep iron around me.
Amen. I love it.
Same.
All right. So we have 5 minutes, guys, before we close out. Did you want to take something really quickly, Dr. Brown?
Pick another one.
Yeah.
Yeah. A question, a scenario, or a personal truth.
Let's do personal truth. I think I did question last.
All right. Oh, okay. This could be quick.
Easy.
Where did you meet? You're married, right?
I am.
Okay. So where did you meet your spouse? Unless you also have a boo and a bae. No.
No, he's all of those things.
Awesome.
No, we met in church.
Oh, nice. Okay. Did you say how long you've been married?
Going on 20 years. So it's 19. It'll be 20 in April of next year.
Awesome. Very nice. LaTanya, what about you? Where'd you meet your husband?
Facebook.
Really? Oh, wow.
We actually graduated from the same high school, but we were like on two different spectrums. So officially, yeah, we met on Facebook.
I'm sorry. Who was on the spectrum? Autistic? I'm sorry.
No, like we was like
terrible.
He was a football player and I was like in a crucial clique with my friends, and I had this little clique. Not a little clique, but you know, we still
had a crew.
Still
a
friends.
gang?
Yeah. No, I was not in the gang. But yeah.
One of the cool kids that wasn't a cheerleader, but they had these groups in the school
on campus.
That was like a jam.
Exactly. That's what we were. We were the cool kids now.
Oh my God, you sound
so like braggy. A little being a bit braggy over there.
Yeah.
Hey. Gail said we were a gang. We were not a gang.
I missed that comment. What she say? Oh, yes, they yes, they were a gang. So you guys were beating up people, LaTanya?
Definitely not.
Oh, okay.
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
All right.
Unless no.
Oh, I thought something was coming after that. I met my spouse at a party at a. I'm trying to think of what it was called right now. Bayou Classic party.
Ooh.
Nice.
Do you have a boo, Dawn B?
I got married over the summer.
What happened?
I said I got married over the summer.
Did you
Where
really?
did I
Or are you messing with me?
I'm messy.
Okay.
I mean, I said I'm messy. Damn, I'm not putting tequila in my wine glass anymore. My boo, bae, or spouse. Where did I meet him? Where does Casper live? Where, like the ghost? Because he don't exist.
Ghost Town.
I thought you were talking about Casper in Chicago.
No, but I do have a bae. He doesn't know he's my bae. I met him in well, you want to hear it from here. I'm not gonna give it a T. Because if I narrow it down to where I've been, everybody be like, so I just thought you was there. So I just thought you was there. Nobody would guess it. I met him in Yellow Springs at Dave Chappelle summer camp. He doesn't know he's my bae though.
Oh, okay. So how many people were there so we can try and narrow this down?
Oh hell, you won't. That's why I thought about it. It was a bazillion.
All right. Well, guys, we have just about rounded out the hour.
Thanks, Gail.
What did Gail say now? Oh, Dawn is hilarious. Oh, yes. That's why we keep her around. She keeps us laughing.
Okay.
No, also because we share a birthday week. And she didn't let me celebrate her birthday with her this year though. So I don't know.
And you know what, Dio? This is because this is the first year in like 30. Oh wait, I'm only 30. That
I mean, yes,
that I didn't plan. Like I usually plan my birthday, and then my friends told me, well, we don't go do things because you always plan yours. So this year I let the universe grab me. I let the energy take me, and I had a very good birthday. But the thing is too, my birthday is the first day of Libra, and it's like it's in September, so Virgos still be like la 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 la. So this is the first year also I'm celebrating my birthday in the week after instead of the week before.
Got it.
So we got something going, Aisha. This week we're gonna hook up.
Okay. Yes, my birthday is in 2 days.
What? I thought it was October 3rd.
My birthday? September 28th.
Oh,
word.
It's been September 28th for a lot of years.
Her life is
how many years? How many years?
Right.
Really, in real life, or you want me to be like Dawn?
No, I'm just.
What? Be like Dawn. That's dope shit.
35 plus 13.
That's cool that you can change your birthday in the middle of your life like that.
Right. Oh, so I'll put in 2 years, my oldest child will be half my age.
So we know what that is.
Huh?
How old is your oldest child right now?
See.
Yeah. Okay. I am happy to be back.
23.
I figured it out because you're a year younger than me.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Dr. Brown. Oh,
I embrace it.
Me too.
What she say? She said, "Happy early birthday, Aisha. Give numbers. It's a blessing. It is a blessing to be almost 48 years old. Thank you for that.
Yes, and you look gorgeous.
Yes, you do.
Oh, thank you. I gotta keep on drinking this water. You do look
gorgeous, Dawn, and I'm loving the hair.
Girl.
Yes,
that hair is cute. It's very fitting. Your eyebrows are popping. You have your lips.
Right.
I was just doing the question, like my friends are bragging, and at the same time they need attention. I was just doing that part.
But your hair does look gorgeous. But your eyebrows, I'm always like.
Thank you. I decided to lock.
Loving it.
A TikTok, the game is locked. I said I would lock at 50, and I won't be 50 for 20 years, but I'm almost there. So
okay then. All right. On that
turned
note,
40 twice plus some more.
That's hilarious. Okay. On that note, we're gonna close out the show. All right. I want to thank you all for watching the first episode of season 6. Thank you to Dr. Malaika Brown for sharing her golden nuggets on how to be a boss chick. We didn't have our spotlight. Maybe I could have done the education. I don't know. I didn't think about that. But anyway, thank you to my ever loving, ever so popular Girl Talk panel, LaTanya and Dawn. And if you're out there, please subscribe and tune in next week when our boss chick will be Aliyah Abdullah. I hope I said her name right. This is your host, Aisha Israel, reminding you to know and embrace true love because you're worth it. Have a blessed week and a wonderful evening. Good night.